It's amazing. Every time I do one of these shows where I work, I get to share some of my life coaching skills. I get to share with you the topic, which today the topic is about embracing fear, even when you are paralyzed, or even through gratitude. Because I believe that gratitude is the antidote to just about everything. So if we're facing fear, then perhaps we should also embrace or remain grateful. How do you do that? How do you remain grateful in times where it feels like, I don't want to be grateful for this. There's no good from it. Well, today we are going to absolutely discuss this topic. And if you have any questions for me, please ask. And at the end of our hour, I will look at and we'll continue to answer questions if you have any questions. And if I happen to glance down, then what I'll do is I will also answer any questions that are live if I get to see the glance of it. But for now, I want you to fasten your seatbelts because we are going to learn and grow together. So here we go. It's time to dance, everybody.
The Lillian McDermott Show.
We love, we fear, bridges we burn, we make mistakes, then we live and learn. When life gets tough, and it seems like your best ain't good enough. If you're in need of hope, you know where I'll be right here, right here. And when you need a friend, you can count on me. I'll be right here, waiting for you.
This is the place you can always turn to when you need a friend. The Lillian McDermott Show. To reach out to Lillian, visit her on the web at whenyouneedafriend.com. Now let's all learn together. Here's Lillian McDermott.
Hello, my listening friend. It's so nice we can meet each other on the air on this best day ever. How many of you would have just paralyzed at an error in your life? And this is exactly what we're talking about, is working beyond your comfort zone, working beyond what you think is the way you perceived it, the way you wanted to see it, whatever it is. So today, I'm going to just go straight into it. As you know, it is so wonderful that we can meet each other on the air on this beautiful day. It's the best day ever, as you know. And today we're going to be talking about embracing fear while remaining grateful. And since you know it is my commitment to provide alternative ways to heal, and it is my mission to make awareness, responsibility, and truth a part of our everyday life, I am saying that today we get to embrace fear while remaining grateful. And the reason why I picked those two is because it's really easy to forget all the good that has happened in our life when it looks like there's something that's not so good right now. So how do we do that? How do we find ourselves making decisions when the decisions that we have can lead to a mistake, can lead to our biggest fear becoming alive? And by the way, every thought that we have, of course, it's going to be in our mind, is a manifestation. And so if we're only looking at what could go wrong in our life, then we're manifesting more of that. I didn't get that for quite some time. I thought I was looking at what not to do, but I was putting attention in what not to do. And the brain focuses on what we focus on. We manifest what we're focusing on, even if it's what we don't want. If we're focusing on it, we get more of it. So I wanted to do the class today, and I lost my Facebook in front of me, so I can't see you guys right now, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. We'll figure out oh, there we are. We're there. So I am grateful for all of you that are on and tuning in. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube or listening on podcasts, just know that you can tune in to Facebook Live. Today we're doing 5 p.m. Eastern time, but we're going to start doing an 8 a.m. because we have so many people from all over the world that can't tune in at this hour because it's like 3 o'clock in the morning for them or 4 o'clock in the morning for them. And they do tune in, but I want to meet everybody in a place where we could all learn together. So I want to encourage you to view this not as a show, but as a place where we can learn and grow together. So something interesting happened. I have a vision board, and I have to show you what my vision board looks like. My vision board, interestingly enough, I'm so proud of it. It took a lot of creativity, and my good friend, Judy Bressler, invited my husband and I to a vision board party. And let me tell you, it was so much fun. I've tried doing vision boards before, but it wasn't as pretty as this. And I must admit, this one is a really pretty vision board. I like looking at it. And that's the whole point of it. It's actually on a canvas. So I have been very upset, but not upset. It's like I was beginning to go down that spiral of what could go wrong, because I love to manifest what I want. And just recently, I set a date for myself of miraculous abundance. That's the miraculous abundance that I want for all of us. And I had to change the date because it was an arbitrary date. It wasn't, so I made it a little bit more logical. And so the date changed. But now we're getting close to that date again. And I was looking at my vision board going, what is it that I am not doing? What do I need to do different? Is there something going on? And this morning, this has been something that has been in my face this whole week as I asked the question, what am I doing to manifest more of my fear, to focus on or feel defeated? And the date has not come yet. And isn't that what we do? I am just like you. I'm a student. Sometimes I'm a teacher. Sometimes I'm a student. But mostly I'm a student, and I love to learn. And so I noticed that in my vision board, I had cut believe. And I want to show you, I hope that you can see it. Do you see my believe? This I cut from a magazine. And then all of a sudden, I started seeing that there was an IE in red. And what I was looking at was lie, be-lie, the. And so I started saying that, why did I pick that? I saw lie in there. And so it was this whole week, I've been coloring it red, and it won't because I Mod Podged it, and I can't figure out a way to color it, all of it in red, so that I'm looking at believe. And I was beginning to doubt. I was beginning to do the things like what could go wrong type of thing. And I hate that. I love the equal opportunity of what could go right, because that's what possibly might happen. We have 50-50, probably maybe an 80-20 that it will go right, but we fear. And that lie, and I just kept focusing on that. And so this morning, while I was meditating, I did my everyday spirit this morning, and it was beautiful. And then I took out my journal, and here's my journal. I'm going to share real quick what my journal looks like. And I started becoming a self-cleaning oven. And that's what journaling does for me, because not only do I write what I am experiencing, but I also listen. I listened for that intuition. I listened to that voice within us that creates certainty. that helps us get from desert to desert because we remember the oasis in between. So this morning, I just bared my soul to my creator. Not that my creator doesn't know how I feel. I don't acknowledge it. And so what I wrote on the top of my journal was, hope is the start of gratitude. Hope is the start of gratitude. And as I wrote that down, you know, I'm an acronym queen. I thought, okay, I wanted to focus on hope. Hope for that vision that I have, that I'm manifesting. And so I started thinking about why it was that that belief had an IE, and I was just focusing on lie. So I took the word hope and I started playing with it on my journal. This happened. I'm sharing to you, this happened this morning. And so I thought, you know, this is very appropriate for today's classroom. So I thought I'd share with you if that's okay with you. And I hope that it means something to you as it did to me. So I started to think, H for healing, O to be open for abundance, P, I must have a positive outlook, and E, once I'm empowered, I feel grateful. I feel gratitude. So then I started really going deeper in journaling. And let me know if this doesn't make sense to you, because I'm glancing down from time to time. If this doesn't make sense, put a question mark on there or call me out on it. So the question for the H, which is healing my limiting belief, why I was focusing on lie. Why am I trying to make my vision board a lie? And I will tell you why. And I've shared this before, and I'm going to share it with you with now being vulnerable, because although I share it logically, I still might need some work to be done. I still might need So what I remember is when I was in second grade, I was 7 years old. I was told by my second grade teacher that I would never amount to much. Well, my vision is big. I have a big vision for myself. But perhaps I need to heal that I am not enough. And it hit me. And this morning, I'm doing like turbocharge healing of that belief. Is that belief still in me, that I believe that I could never amount to much? Interestingly enough, the only teacher that I remember the name was the teacher who told me I would never amount to much in second grade. I've carried that little girl with me, and no matter what I did, it wasn't enough. I believed that lie. Perhaps that's what I needed to heal. Maybe I needed to remind myself today, of all days, that I am enough. So the antidote, again, is gratefulness, and it's awareness. And so being fearful that I'm not enough could keep me from that abundance that I do desire, that dream that I do have. So instead of sabotaging myself, what do I want? So I wrote down my fear, and my limited belief is that I will never amount to much. It's out there. It's out there. I just wrote it down. And so then underneath that, I wrote, I am worthy to receive. I am powerful. I am capable. I am successful. And you know, I had to really stop myself there and say I'm successful, because humility kicks in and goes, I'm just me. So here I'm beginning to heal. And so I pulled out my favorite Jason Stevenson meditation, my I Am, and I listened to it for a whole hour, because I need to rewrite the program of I am not enough. How many of you show me with some love, some right where you're from, right, whatever it is, do you need to heal that lie, that limiting belief that you have about yourself. I did. I still do. After all the work I've done, but I couldn't stop seeing the I-E, the L-I-E in believe. So I need to rectify that. And I need to go turbocharge, make it. Jenny, thank you so much for your honesty. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So then the O, I am grateful for my earned abundance. Okay. So not too long ago, I was told that I was lucky because I was able to interview this person. And it bothered me. It rubbed me the wrong way. Luck had nothing to do with it. I work very hard and I work very smart and I earned that interview. I worked hard and I've got a darn good assistant who also knows my vision, who is my little bulldog to get these gets. But when I was told that I was lucky, it poked me in the eye because it reminded me that I wasn't enough. You see how it all works? First it's the thought, then it's the feeling, and then it's the action. We've got to break through our fears that we keep hidden. We get to explore them and have fun with them. Does this make sense? So then I wrote, I am worthy for this abundance. I've worked hard for this abundance. I want this. I am in it to win it, as the dog. I can't remember his name right now, but I'm in it to win it, and I am ready for this miraculous abundance. And I am sharing from, this is like, I wasn't planning on sharing this today. I found it and I thought, oh yeah, maybe I should do this. Okay, so the H is for heal my limiting belief. O is to be open to the abundance that I have been manifesting and focusing on. The P is for possibility. That possibility and that opportunity that if it's going to be anybody, it might as well be me. Why not me? Why don't I deserve it? I deserve it. So it's like possibility, positivity, and staying focused on what I want. Staying focused on what I want. So change my outlook. I began to go down that spiral and I needed to stop. So again, the antidote is gratitude. I am grateful for the opportunities that I have created, that the creator who's inside of me has helped me create, the saints, the angels, my guides, everybody who we do not see because they changed form, are working on my behalf. And I need to work hard as well. Continue to believe what, not the lie, but believe. And then E is for empowerment, to feel gratitude, to feel grateful. So I started counting my blessings. I started really focusing on what I wanted. How many times do we focus on something and we don't say what we want? We don't even acknowledge it. We secretly hope for it, but our fear of success or failure, maybe our fear of failure, or maybe it's the fear of success, or maybe it's the fear of getting crazy uncomfortable. The secret to getting crazy uncomfortable and just doing it anyway is expanding your comfort zone one step at a time. So when you expand your comfort zone, then it no longer becomes like outside of your limitations. So there is a man whose name is Tim Ferriss. And Tim Ferriss, I'm hoping that I've got his name correctly. Oh boy, I must have deleted his name. Anyway, his last name is Ferriss. And so I'm so sorry if I I think it's Tim Ferriss. And so with that, he has something that's called it's called fear. Oh gosh, what's it called? Fear setting. Sorry, fear setting. And so fear setting is something that he did. He was paralyzed and he was just couldn't do things. He was this close to committing suicide because he had lost hope. And he just wanted to end it. His anxiety, depression, bipolar. And so he created something for himself to help him get beyond where he wanted to, so that he could get out of the pain. Suicide, he was able to talk himself out of it. Thank God, because he's a brilliant mind. And so with this young man, he came and he stood up for what he did to help himself become aware of his fears. Everybody has a different way of dealing with fear. Everybody. How do you deal with fear? You know, you can privately text me at 407-373-5959. You could privately text me and let me know what your fear is. Or you can instant message me at Lillian's radio show. And so he would talk about what's the worst case scenario, write all your fears down in one sheet of paper, and then by each fear, the things you can do to prevent it, and what, if it happens, what you can do to repair it. Brilliant. This is a brilliant plan. But that's the fear setting, page 1. Fear setting, so there's the definition, there's the prevention, and there's the repair. Page 2 of fear setting is making a list of the benefits if you're successful at it. The benefits if you're successful at it. And then page number 3, so write down all the different benefits that you have if you were to face your fears, embrace your fears, and then write down, if your fears do come true, how to prevent it. And then the second one is, if they come true, how to repair it. That's page number 2. Right, page number 1. Page number 2 is writing down, if you're successful, what are the benefits of it, right? And say page number 3 on the fear setting is, what are the costs for you not ever taking a chance? So that's called fear setting. So today we're talking about how to set ourselves up for success and looking at your fears. And when I realized that instead of looking at, and I'll share it again for those of you who are just tuning in. This is what I was looking at in my vision board. Do you see that? I only started seeing the lie in between the belief. And it struck me that I needed to change that on my vision board. And I replaced it with, I kid you not, I did that today. That was part of my goals today. I changed it to this. So I have no doubt that I am dealing with a belief, not a lie. And so we can do things to change things around. So with my question for me was, why do I believe that my dreams are a lie? And that's where I had to take accountability and look at hope. That the start of every diminishing of fear is to have a grateful heart, to have gratitude. And that is when I came up with hope is the start of gratitude. Again, let me go over hope. H is healing your wounds. For me, it was my second grade teacher telling me that I would never amount to much. That little girl is sabotaging me right now. And that voice in my head is Mr. Torres, the only teacher I remember his name. Number 2, O for hope, is to be open to the abundance. Whatever it is that you need to do, and I gave you examples already. P is to shift my outlook, positive outlook. Look at the possibilities, the opportunities. Just change, shift, positive outlook. And then the E is for empowerment, to feel grateful. Once I deal with whatever it is my fear is, I can start healing and I can start focusing on what it is that I do want. So I wanted to share that with you, is how we can embrace our fear while remaining grateful. And for those of you who are watching on Facebook Live at Lillian's radio show, does this make sense to you? Is this something that you can create a plan? Tim Ferriss, and I'm hoping it's Tim Ferriss, he is the one that created fear setting, which I think is brilliant. Face your fears. And then take those fears and take the acronym FEAR, which is I love acronyms. Follow every avenue required. Follow every avenue. Figure out what it is that you need to do to minimize that fear. Minimize the failure outcome. And by the way, when we're in failure mode and we're in victim mode, whatever you're feeling is going to manifest. But if you look at failure as an opportunity to learn a new way, to grow, I do not believe that there is such a thing as accidents. I do not believe that there's such a thing as failure. I believe that they're all opportunities, and that if we just sit with it with curiosity instead of criticism, optimism instead of, I don't know, what's the word I want to use here because I'm just flying by the seat of my pants here. Optimism instead of being critical, looking at the opportunity or considering that this could possibly be a new way of looking at it. Perhaps you too might say, well, maybe failure is not even, because that's where I grow the most. That is where I have grown the most, is when I am looking at the eye of fear, looking straight in the eye and dealing with it myself. Now, Tim Ferriss, and I'm going to keep calling him Tim, and I'm probably going to apologize at the end if it's not Tim. He says that, are you afraid of quitting a job? Why? Figure out, do that stress setting or fear setting. Are you afraid to speak your mind, speak your truth? Write down, how to define it, prevent it, repair it. All those things. Do you need to ask for forgiveness? Do you need to forgive somebody? What is holding you from that miraculous abundance that you want so deeply? So, with that in mind, I changed. I started seeing things, and it's amazing. And I love Dr. Wayne Dyer, when I heard him say 20 some years ago, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. What do you need to change today? What is holding you back, and what is keeping you from your fears? And so before we bring Matt Bellis into this, because I am just looking forward to asking him about his moments where he looked at fear and did it anyway, because he calculated it. He knew that the risk was not as big, that his passion for success was greater than his fear of failure. And so I want to encourage all of you to change this and join the movement. Join this movement of responsibility, of shifting, of empowerment, the one that leads to truth. And so here's what I'd like for you to do. I'd love for you to go to whenyounneedafriend.com, become a subscriber. Not only become a subscriber, there is a 100% responsibility page there that will help you look and see of how you can go from victim mentality to empowered, which was what I was doing today. I needed to shift and focus on what I wanted. And that's why I wanted to share this with you, because it was so awakening to me. This is where we get to share. So I want to encourage you to go to whenyouneedafriend.com and subscribe. I want you to forward this to all your friends, all your family, people that you don't know on the street. Help this information get out there. Help the show / classroom grow. There are different ways you can do it. You can do it by honoring my sponsors. And when I share with you my sponsors, we talk about like-minded sponsors. I absolutely love my sponsors. And we're going to be bringing Liberty Health Share in a second, but Keep Me Safe Organics, you get, when you go into my sponsors page, there, just click on the icon and you save money. You can learn about things that will empower your life, such as Keep Me Safe Organics, First Alternative Care, Dr. Stephen Grable, who's alternative functional in Jacksonville area. We have the pharmacy, and we have the McDermott Holistic Healing Foundation out there. You know, so there's so many different ways that we can learn and grow together. So check out my sponsors, figure out a way that you can support them, the way they're supporting the classroom. And also, if you want to enroll in the classroom, you too can become a sponsor, and you can be a part of the solution about bringing this information out there so that you no longer feel like a victim. Victim no more. Things happen for us, not to us. They happen so that we can learn a new truth about how courageous we are. And all it takes, and I love the movie, this is the only thing I remember from the movie, when we bought a zoo. All it takes is 20 seconds of courage to take that first step. I've got 20 seconds. Do you? Take that first step, and then the next, and then the next. You don't ever start a hike at the top of the mountain. You start by researching which shoes you're going to buy. And you take a step at a time until you finally make it to that mountain. And you take one step at a time until you can look back and you say, OMG, look how far I've come. And I know you can do it. I know, because I believe in you as much as I believe in me. But the moment we believe a lie, then we've got to heal it. We've got to correct it. We've got to rewrite the program. And so there's so many different ways, so many different lessons in the classroom that you can go to. And so I want to encourage you to, if you want to text the lie, text it to me. Get it out there. Get the lie out and start facing it and dealing with it, figuring out how you can create what it is that you want. And so with that in mind, I'm leaving the best for last, Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share, I am a member of Liberty Health Share, and had I not risked and said, I'm going to step away from this, because I looked at what do I have to lose, what do I have to gain, and I had more to gain than to lose. And that's when I leaned towards Liberty Health Share. And I am grateful because we do have the director of marketing, a communications director. I keep calling him the director of marketing, but he's the communications director. And I am going to try to unmute you, Matt, because I see that you're muted and I can't reach it. There you go.
I got it.
There we go. Perfect. And so if I wouldn't have leaned forward and leaned towards Liberty Health Share, I would never have known the beauty of what you guys are doing. So thank you, Matt, for joining us, and thank you for being Liberty Health Share, being a sponsor that stands tall with the Lillian McDermott Radio Show Classroom. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me, Lillian.
Well, thank you for saying yes. And so my question, you've heard a little bit about what we've been talking about, I've been talking about today. And so I was wondering with you, I'm sure that there have been times, Matt, and if you don't want to answer, that's fine too, that you face risk. Yeah, like you could do that now, right?
Yeah.
That you faced risk and you thought, I am going to focus on what I want, even if there is risk, because the benefits outweigh the cost. And one of the costs would be that if I don't do it, I will always live in regret. Has that ever happened to you?
Yes, absolutely. I am very much a person that my wife would tell you is someone who tends to act first.
Okay.
um, but that does not mean that I haven't had those issues of fear, those uh, thoughts of doubt that crop up. Um, and we are all just prognosticators until we actually make that first step and
Right.
have something done to look back on, frankly.
Yes. Yes.
Um, I look at being a part of Liberty Health Share. I think you've heard this story before where
Yeah.
my wife even was not very comfortable with the idea of healthcare sharing. And it was only whenever she first, so to speak, got over it, did it the first time with Liberty Health Share, uh, saw how it works and how everything went, came to pass,
Hmm.
did she realize that it was a much better structure for her and our family. But really, in any event, um, if you're not scaring yourself a little bit on a fairly regular basis,
Yes.
um, then you might want to check your pulse. Um, because frankly, life in itself is waking up every morning. You just have to say, wow, I'm alive.
And that's where the gratitude comes in.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's where the gratefulness, like I said, this is what I wrote. It was like, hope is the beginning, of gratitude.
Yeah.
Like if you can just shift and be hopeful, then you can start entering into that gratitude of just being grateful that you're alive.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever heard the statistic of 400 trillion to one, but the idea that you are actually here alive and on the planet is a 400 trillion to one chance.
Yeah.
We take that for granted because we're here. You have more, there's more of a possibility of you being struck by lightning at least 10 times before you become a human.
Wow.
It's a very
Oh, wow.
fascinating
I'd love to read that statistic.
yeah. To realize that you're here and you have an opportunity and a chance is one thing, but to be able to take all of those opportunities available to you from day in and day out to actually step out of your comfort zone and act on those fears that you have, you will never know the potential that you have as an individual. Even being a part of something like Liberty Health Share, you have the ability to be a part of other people's lives. And you actually have the ability to help them on a fairly regular, systematic basis. And that's an opportunity that we don't get.
Yeah.
And so it's that marriage of opportunity and fear that we have to look at, weigh, make wise decisions, of course. But whenever we are able to step out a little bit on faith and say the opportunity the benefit of the opportunity outweighs my fear,
Yeah.
then that's something that you really need to pay attention to and go for it. Action beats inaction every time it's tried.
Well, but inaction is a decision.
It is, you're right.
Because we're either making decisions or decisions are being made for us, but we are in control of that.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Yes.
totally in control. We can give our power away or we can take our power back. And when I believe that when I joined Liberty Health Share, I took my power back. I was, you make it, and sometimes for someone who hasn't experienced it, I've been with Liberty Health Share for the last 3 years. But when somebody hears about Liberty Health Share and when they hear from you saying, there's people helping people, but this is a well-run organization who has, I get calls when we have storms in Florida from our advocates and, at Liberty Health Share, hey, are you okay? I've noticed that you haven't, gone to the doctor lately, maybe you should go to the doctor. It's like, what insurance company ever cared that I went to a doctor or not?
Well, it really does take that whole concept of community and it really expounds upon it because it really is each individual within this community who makes up the community.
Yes.
Culture and community don't happen by accident. You have to choose, you have to act upon it. And even whenever you're not thinking about it, it is happening, whether for good or for evil. uh, if you are a part of a community and a culture that is stagnated, it didn't happen by accident. It happens by apathy. It happens by inaction. And those kinds of things really breed negativity. And it just snowballs into an effect where you're stuck without actually moving into any kind of positive motion.
Yeah.
But whenever you are actively seeking out, working on the things that that are beneficial to you, being a part of a community like Liberty, starting a business, starting a family, asking out that person that you'd like to maybe go to coffee with, all those kinds of things definitely take a moment of courage, but that action is going to feed into what you know or what you want to happen, rather than any kind of inaction. So
Yes.
I'm very much a person that says go out there and at least try. We have
Yes.
a rule in our household with our kids that they at least try their food, and it's very important.
Yeah, yes. And so Jenny asked, if does Liberty Health Share support alternative medicine? And I'm here to say I can answer that, yes, because that was what was happening with me, that I have a healthier, natural, and if I can do it myself without having to go to a doctor, I'd rather do it myself, because there's so many tools that we have that we can, like, hey, whenever I get a sore throat, my husband laughs at me, but I will suck on garlic. And I know that sounds disgusting, but it will kill your sore throat right away. And, going to a doctor is not a priority, but when I do want to go, I know that I can go to a chiropractor. I know I can go to an acupuncturist with Liberty Health Share. Share how you guys made that decision to embrace alternative, although there are some parameters, alternative health.
It was actually a move by our members. We would get calls and people saying, I would like to share in and be a part of other forms of medicine that are not necessarily deemed, so to speak, as traditional medicine. And so it was one of those decisions that we came across and said, we want our members to have the freedom to be able to look at these different alternative treatments, naturopathy, and anything that you feel is necessary for you as a member, as long as it's something that we've agreed on as a community. We want you to go out there and try those things, because it's your health, your healthcare, and you should be in charge of it.
Absolutely. And well said. I'm telling you that, when I was I had a car accident, and the allopathic community wanted to do surgery on my neck. And I chose to do, microcurrent, and I chose to do pulse electromagnetic frequency. I have 4 herniated discs, but that's how I chose to do it. I could have done a surgery, but I am not going to do any surgery on my neck unless I absolutely have to. Because the moment you start doing things like that, your body stops working naturally. And so if I can do anything, and as you know, Dale, Matt, I was thinking about your dad. So Matt, my registered service mark is you can take a pill or you can take responsibility. If I am in an automobile accident and I need to be patched up and repaired like I needed to, I will go to a regular allopathic, because they do great. I mean, I'm not going to put some, oil on my neck to alleviate the pain right off the bat. But if I have a broken bone or anything like that, there are ways that perhaps I can do it myself, but I choose to go get it checked out if I have a broken rib or whatever. But if I can choose to change my lifestyle like I did, choose to, maybe look at health differently, disease differently, instead of treating the symptom, look at the root cause. Now that's what alternative health is all about. And I'm so glad that you guys embraced it, because it's how you get to the root cause.
It really is taking ownership over your health and your healthcare. There's a mentality there that I think, going along with what you're talking about, the getting over a step of fear and looking at the possible benefits.
Yes.
One of the ways that you are actually able to do that is if you change your mentality to more of an ownership mindset, so that you say, I own my body, I own my health care. Nobody is going to look after me other than me when it comes to my health. I have a wife. She doesn't want me to eat certain things, or she wants me to be around, or But in the end, I'm responsible for my health and my health care, and so I need to take ownership of that. And whenever I do, I have a much reduced sense of fear when it comes to making decisions that I need to make.
Yes.
It's not risky behaviors. It's not going out there and making a decision on a whim. It's taking ownership of your life, your health, your health care, stepping over any kind of fear that you might have, grabbing the benefit of what that comes. Because if you do the right thing, if you're owning your own health and your healthcare, there are ancillary benefits that seem to just show up.
Absolutely, absolutely. And for those of you who are listening right now, and I know that there might be interested in, I know there's interest in wanting to learn more, I want to encourage you to go to libertyhealthshare.org. That's libertyhealthshare.org, or you can go to whenyouneedafriend.com. Their icon is under my sponsorship button, and you can request information. And it doesn't hurt to learn. Information is power. It really is. Informed choice, that is so empowering when you know the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then, or you can call 855-58-LIBERTY. That's 855-585-4237. And so that's what I did. And when the student is ready, Matt, the teacher appears, because I had shared with you that the Cobra that I was paying for, $1,200 a month, the company that I was giving the money to had filed bankruptcy and wasn't putting my money towards Cobra. And so here I am paying my money, in transition, trying to find alternatives for me, when I interviewed the concept of Liberty Health Share. I interviewed and it was like, you do what? What do what? And before I even did the show, or even agreed to the show, I did so much research. I wanted to make sure that you guys were solid and that there was so much that because I need to align myself with people that are going to be around for a while.
Sure. Yeah.
And so, when I learned that you guys had up to $1 million per incident, you were affordable care exempt, but it's truly affordable. You can choose your healthcare practitioners, whether they're allopathic or functional, integrated, holistic. Of course, we have to go through the different stages. And when I needed an MRI, or when I needed an X-ray, I would shop around for the best price.
Yeah.
Because I knew that I was going to pay a percentage of that. So up to my non-shared amount, which is $1,000. But once I got to $1,000, you're my partner 100%, and you're helping me with my expenses, provided that I go through the right protocol. So share a little bit about that, Matt.
It's interesting that you brought up the MRI, because that's one of the go-to things that we talk about when it comes to the lack of price transparency and the lack of sense when it comes to the marketplace of how to get something done. An MRI at your local hospital can cost $5,000, but down the street it can cost $1,000 or even $100. I mean, it varies on situation and location.
Yes.
So it's good to know that whenever you own your health and healthcare, you're a part of a group like Liberty Health Share, you can go out there and price shop and find the best option for you, the best price that you can find, and you have the ability to go there. What would be terrible is if you went through that whole process, price shopped, found where you wanted to go, and then you had a network that wouldn't allow you to go to that particular provider.
Yeah.
So that's what is good to know about healthcare sharing and Liberty Health Share, is that you have that ability to own. It's not just words. You own your health, your healthcare. You
Yes.
go out and you're actually able to find what's best for you and enact what is best for you. That's the essence of ownership. And when you grasp that, when you understand that, you're able to take on so many things that might be holding you back because of fear.
Yes, yes, and all of those and more. So for those of you who want to learn more about Liberty Health Share, again, you can go to my website at whenyouneedafriend.com, click on the sponsorship logo, Liberty Health Share. I am a member, and I've been a member for 3 years, and so I feel very comfortable standing next to Liberty Health Share saying, this is where I want to invest in my care and take my health care back. Because it's truly, I can focus on figuring out the root cause as opposed to being treated for the symptom, and you guys can embrace it as well. I remember real quick, because I know we're getting almost to the end of the last session here, but I remember I had to get a colonoscopy, and of course, I bear everything in the class. It's like, okay, be totally vulnerable here.
Yeah.
And I remember calling you guys because, I need to get approval or whatever. What is that called? There's like, what is
No,
it?
no, it's not pre-approval. It's part of our stewardship program. Yes, the name just left me as well.
Sorry. But it's like a pre-application or pre-notification. I think that's what it's called.
Notification. Thank you. Pre-notification.
Pre-notification. So I had let them know, and then they said, oh, because I thought I had to pay because I had not met my insured amount, which is $1,000. And she said, no, that's part of your care. That's your well visits. And so that's covered at 100%. I'm like, get out, get out of town. So I was excited that I didn't have to pay for that 100%. So I'm very grateful. Is there anything? Oh, and again, I'll just say 855-58-LIBERTY, 855-585-4237, and that's libertyhealthshare.org. Is there anything that you'd also like to share that maybe we didn't talk about today when it comes to taking that risk? Like I took the risk, and I looked at the risks and the benefits, because I can always join and I can always go out. There wasn't like a 1-year commitment or anything like that. Would you like to share anything else that you can help when it comes to minimizing risk?
Well, we're here anytime that you want to look at us. If I can take away some of that fear and anxiety and any kind of risk, Liberty Health Share is here to meet your needs. We want to be helpful to you. We want to be available for anybody who wants to be able to join. But it is important to take that upon yourself to learn what it's actually like to be a part of a healthcare sharing ministry, because it does require you to take responsibility, ownership of your health and your healthcare, so that you can not only be an informed consumer, but a better patient whenever you do need the doctor as well, because those who own themselves and own their bodies are able to become healthier. They're able to recover more quickly. They're able to work with their doctor one-on-one, and we are here to support that 100%.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Matt, for always coming on and sharing the beauty of making that informed choice and leaning towards what is different and new as well. And so, when you were talking about how your benefits, your health benefits, everything, that is true also for when we face our fears, and we face it with gratitude, because gratitude can help build our immune system. It can help a sad day seem with more meaning. There's so many different things, but basically when you face fear and you look at it in the eyes, your eyes, and you sit there and you figure out different ways to minimize that risk, then you can be courageous and you can take that step, that 20-second step. That's all it takes. So remember, being in your comfort zone can kill you. It can. There are a lot of people that get beaten every day. There are a lot of people that drink every day till they pass out. Comfort can kill you. But I guarantee you that life begins outside your comfort zone. Please remember, I'll be right here waiting for you worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. This is Lillian McDermott and Matt Bellis, wishing you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best day ever.
The opinions and advice expressed on the Lillian McDermott radio show are intended for the individual callers and guests on the program and are presented to our wider audience solely for general educational purposes. Please act responsibly and consult personally with your own medical, psychological, or nutritional expert before taking any steps to improve your life.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lillian.
Thank you. Take care. Take care, Matt. And so
Bye-bye.
now, bye. Now I'm going to look at all of you who are waiting patiently on Facebook. Let me see. Do you have any questions for me? Did this make sense? Did the facing your fears with gratitude and being able to look at hope as hope being the start of gratitude? And when you're looking at the acronym HOPE, which has to do with healing your limiting belief, being open to abundance and opportunity, and being open to receiving it, and looking at the P for hope as positive, and shifting that what could go wrong to what could go right. And if you do what Tim Ferriss talks about, which is fear setting, and minimizing your risk by being prepared. If anxiety and depression is something that you need to really hone in on what could go wrong and what your fears are, that's a great way to do it. He's got a great TED Talk that helps you learn a little bit more about fear setting. And so that's the P for looking at possibility. If other people have created it, why not you? I mean, why can't you? So shift that thinking into positive thinking. And then the E is that empowerment that will allow you to feel grateful. And so that will start the cycle of taking that next step and taking that next step. And so there's a new comment, and we hear, oh, you couldn't hear the music today? I don't know what happened. I am so sorry about that. But just know that it's time to dance. It'll be on, it should be on the recording for YouTube. So I apologize for that. Let me see. Okay. Yes. So Jenny, you're absolutely right with your conclusion. Yes, it does. They have customer service, and you can choose where you want your healthcare path to be. And that's what I love about Liberty HealthShare. Thank you so much hi, Gabby. So nice to see that you're joining us today. And let's see who else is with us. And Hannah, thank you so much. And looks like you started a conversation with Jenny. That's great. So here we go. So I hope that the conversation today about facing your fears with gratitude, even if you don't think that it is the best case scenario, if it's happening to you, there's a purpose for it. The moment you can shift and start looking at the purpose of it, finding the beauty of it, and finding what the gifts and lessons, of course, go to that 100% responsibility page on whenyouneedafriend.com, and you can go through all those questions, the 4 questions of taking responsibility, and it'll take you from that victim mentality to feeling empowered. Also, as you know, I'm a coach. So for those of you who want to learn more and have one-on-one coaching, you could always reach out to me as well. There is a cost for that, but on the classroom, it's free, right? Unless you want to be a student, an enrolled student, and that would be very helpful. So today, I'm grateful for you. And I hope that in sharing, in vulnerability, sharing with you, that you could grow with me. And whatever it is that you are facing right now, a decision, or maybe you're not looking at it. What I do, just though I procrastinate. There's some things that I know I don't want to do, but if I say it, I just don't want to do that right now. And this is why. Once you say it, it takes the power away. So whatever it is that you want to do, just take that step. Just take that courageous step, and it will lead you to empowerment and freedom. Okay? So, sorry about the music. I'm sorry about all that, but there's a reason for everything. You're just going to have to tune in the next time and to listen to the theme as well that was written for me. So just know I'll be waiting for you. Next week, we're going to do the best of shows that, next week we're going to start by changing the schedule. And I'm going to take some time off to write my book. But we're going to have some great shows on the watch party. So I hope you can join the watch party and be able to share. Please like this video, share this video with your friends. Help this classroom grow so that we could all feel empowered. So until we meet again, and hopefully I'll be able to sign off the way I need to sign off, and we will talk soon. Take care. Happy 4th of July. Next week.